Welcome to The Woman in Black in a Nutshell. The novel is narrated by Arthur Kipps, a lawyer. One Christmas Eve, he is at home with his wife and stepchildren who are sharing ghost stories. When he is asked to tell a story, he leaves the room and decides to write of his horrific experiences several years in the past. Many years earlier, Kipps is summoned to Crythin Gifford, a small market town on the north-east coast of England, to attend the funeral of Mrs. Alice Drablow and settle her estate, the desolate and secluded Eel Marsh House. The house is situated on Nine Lives Causeway. At high tide, it is completely cut off from the mainland, surrounded only by marshes and sea frets. At the funeral, Kipps sees a woman dressed in black and with a pale face and dark eyes. While sorting through Mrs. Drablow's papers at Eel Marsh House, he endures an increasingly terrifying sequence of unexplained noises, chilling events, and appearances by the woman in black. In one of these instances, he hears the sound of a horse and carriage in distress, closely followed by the screams of a young child, coming from the direction of the marshes. Kipps learns that Mrs. Drablow's sister, Janet Humphrey, gives birth to a child. Because she was unmarried, she was forced to give the child to her sister. Mrs. Drablow and her husband adopted the boy and insisted that he should never know that Janet was his mother. One day, a pony and trap carrying the boy across the causeway became lost and sank into the marshes, killing all aboard, while Janet looked on helplessly from the window. After Janet died, she returned to haunt Eel Marsh House. After some time, but still years before the beginning of her story, at a London fair, while his wife and child are enjoying a pony trap ride, Kipps sees the woman in black. She steps out in front of the horse and startles it, causing it to bolt and wreck the carriage against a tree, killing the child instantly and critically injuring Stella, who dies 10 months later. Although written in 1983, The Woman in Black by Susan Hill is a traditional Gothic ghost story set during the Edwardian era. Hill draws on many conventions of the ghost story genre to create a compelling and frightening tale. The novel has since been turned into a successful stage play, which is the second longest running play in the West End after The Mousetrap. The main themes in this ghost story by Susan Hill are fear, isolation, and the influence of the past. These are presented through the setting, character, and the layered storytelling structure. Other ideas that are dealt with include the conflict between urban and rural life, revenge, and, of course, the theme of the supernatural. The novel's focus on ghosts links to the turn of the screw and Wuthering Heights, whilst the effects of isolation are also explored in The Wasp Factory and Outer Dark. Ideas of revenge can also be seen in Dracula. Read Chapter 10. How does Hill both create and undercut feelings of terror? What was the public reaction to the text when it was published? Research the M.R. James story, Whistle and I'll Come to You, from which the chapter takes its title.